I'm architect Katie Hutchison, and this is Home with Katie Design Tips. And today I'm going to talk about upper-level oriel bays along the lines of the column I recently did for Fine Homebuilding, their drawing board column. And I'm standing in front of a house that's a good example of a traditional, centered, entry-announcing oriel. So the oriel both highlights the entrance and shelters it. And in this case, this house is from circa 1853. So the entrance is on the side, long face, centered between two sets of flanking windows. This example of an entry-announcing oriel is similar to the example we just looked at in that it also has an angled plan, but the primary difference is this one is off-center and it's on a gable end. And because it's off-center, pairs of windows on both the first and second floor are counterweighting it to provide a balance. So it's providing a similar function in that it shelters the entrance, it's just in a different spot. Before we move on to some of the other types of upper-level oriels, I want to mention the interior benefits of entry-announcing oriels like these. They make for great nooks at the end of a stair hall or off a bedroom. They grab light from three directions and provide space for a small writing desk or a reading chair. They're really an asset inside and out. For a change of pace, let's head to the beach. I'm standing in front of some oriel dormers, and these are a neat hybrid of part dormer, part oriel. And in fact, this building inspired the sketches in my column for Fine Homebuilding about upper-level oriels. These dormers resemble doghouse dormers because they have gable roofs and vertical sidewalls, but unlike doghouse dormers, these aren't nested within the roof. Instead, they interrupt the eave line, more like wall dormers. On the inside, these can create intimate alcoves that almost feel balcony-like. They add headroom, invite daylight, and capture a bit of bonus space. Next, I want to share some more recently constructed examples of upper-level oriels with you. We're going to head to Rhode Island first and discuss a stair landing oriel with architect Gail Goff.
Well, this oriel basically announces the stair on the inside of the house, and it's telling you on the outside that there's something important happening inside and giving a view between the inside and the outside of the house. The roof of the oriel is really an extension of the wall, so it comes and it curves down to the and forms a roof, and the window is basically the size of the landing, and there's kind of a balance between small windows and big windows. A bracket was put under the bay because it was such a large bay it looked like it needed some support just visually. Actually it's a cantilever floor system, so it doesn't technically need that support. The window is so large that it did need some extra framing and just a steel tie across for wind resistance.
I wanted to get contractor Jake Talbot in on the discussion too, so I asked him a bit about the framing, insulation, and the logistics of the construction.
The stair oriel is cantilevered out over the exterior wall, and it extends about 16 inches, so essentially the stair landing extends out over the wall. This is insulated with Hutchison, which is an open cell insulation, so it's all filled with foam. Being a large window, it was a little bit difficult. We actually brought this window in up through the stairwell, and we blocked across, diagonally across the opening with a couple of pieces of lumber, and then pushed the window until it went flush on the outside, and then we attached it through the jamb. We screwed it in through the jamb.
Let's go inside to see how the stair landing oriel benefits the interior.
The bay itself was essential to allow room for the landing, and the idea for the window is you come to a landing and you pause and you look out at the landscape and appreciate where you are. The size of the window allows for a lot of light to kind of pour in both downstairs and in the upstairs hall. Because this is really an extension of the wall, it's just the wall pushing out. You can see the curve of the wall kind of reaching out and forming a roof essentially.
This next upper-level oriel type is not represented in my Fine Homebuilding column, but it too is a great option to have in your design toolbox. It's a triangular upper-level oriel, which acts as a focal point. I spoke with architect Andrew Sidford about his design.
This is an oriel on the second floor, and it's a triangular oriel that we used, actually one of the most significant design features, because we were trying to draw attention to it as one of the more prominent features on this side of the house. The triangular shape really grew out of the house itself. Because it's on the end of a gable, the triangular shape was sort of a natural way to make it look as if it was extruded from the house, which was the intent. It is detailed so that the window is as large as possible to keep it as delicate as possible, and then it is essentially trimmed all the way around in trim color as well, to keep it in line with the trim of the house as opposed to the base color of the house, the clapboard color.
Let's head inside and see what the triangular oriel adds to the interior.
This was a renovation, and the original room over the garage felt quite dark and sort of claustrophobic. So this oriel was important because it helped expand that sense of light and space by pushing to the outside envelope. It brought more light in, and it also allows you to sit in and feel much more of the outside at the same time.
Thanks for joining Home with Katie Design Tips for a look at upper-level oriels. Find my column about this topic in Fine Homebuilding magazine, at finehomebuilding.com, and at katiehutchison.com. Thanks.